Ashwini Vaishnav has ensured that we will deploy DeepSeek AI on our own servers. Italy becomes first country to ban DeepSeek, citing privacy concerns over personal data usage. Mass retirement question mark. SpaceX spotted deorbiting dozens of Starlink satellites. This week we saw an article. Someone in Europe successfully did a video call via connecting to the satellite. This particular video call is going to disrupt Ambani and Mittal. Hey guys, welcome back to Tech Gappa, which is the first ever tech podcast show in India. We are the hosts. I'm Amogh,
I'm Sumedh.
I'm Mohit.
and we discuss all things tech in a simplified way. You ask why we do it? It's simple. We are technically nerds. So it's been a week since we are seeing a lot of news about DeepSeek AI and Perplexity AI, and DeepSeek is flooding the headlines all over the world. But because it's been a week, there we have also seen a lot of privacy concerns which are revolving around DeepSeek AI, and a lot of stuff is going around focusing the DeepSeek AI. So we'll be taking a look at what exactly is happening around the world, what other countries are taking measures besides all this stuff. The basically a DeepSeek AI. And some governments have also decided to ban DeepSeek AI completely. So that is a big news update just right after a week wherein the DeepSeek AI was announced. Also, we have some updates from Indian government as well. So we'll be taking a look at that as well. Secondly, we some of Vodafone, to be honest, Vodafone has conducted a satellite connected video call, which is first ever thing to achieve in world. So it's a big threat for Geo, Airtel, BSNL, and all the telecom operators. Second, and this is not going in India only. We also have some updates regarding this from US. T-Mobile is has conducted similar tests. So we'll be taking a look over that as well. And lastly, but not the least, we have some good news, or maybe good news for American citizens, maybe, or people in America. X is launching wallet, or for that matter, payment wallet, just like GPay or Paytm, which will rival a lot of local players over there. So this is the gist. This is what we'll be discussing about in today's episode. Stay tuned till the end of the video because we have added blooper reel at the end of the video. Hope you like it. And yeah, so let's begin with today's episode. So, firstly, we'll be taking a look at what exactly Indian government has to say. So, like I said, privacy concerns have started to raise, and we have also raised, or rather, Indian government has also raised certain issues or questions for that matter. So, we'll just take a look at this Business Standard article. So, Ashwini Vaishnav, who is the minister, has ensured that we will deploy DeepSeek AI on our own servers. So, as of now, everything, all the servers. So, basically, there are different data centers in different countries. So, Google has a lot of data centers in India, wherein all the requests, all the searches which we do in our daily lives are stored, or rather accessed via the data centers in the local cities, you can say. So we have data centers for Google in Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai. So similarly, DeepSeek AI as of now has servers in China. And I think so. I'm not sure about it, but it's definitely not in India. So if we want to use DeepSeek AI in India, we plan to install servers or data centers here in India so that all our data, all the Indians which are using DeepSeek AI, all that data will be stored here locally.
Yeah.
That is what it's all about. So
Uh,
that's where the headline reads.
yeah. I think this will also help, train the model better for the Indian subcontinent and
Right.
will be, I think it will help fellow Indians to have a more tailored experience for them with their regional queries. compared to a more global
Correct.
approach to this. And I think apart from having lesser latency while getting the search results or the generated form of um, what you can say output, I think the data privacy would be a big player as well in this case, considering
Exactly.
considering if we
So,
data privacy laws kick in here.
correct. Correct. And actually, this is coming, or rather, coming this statement coming from a minister
Yes.
is actually hinting, or rather, is actually after we saw a lot of heavy investment in India.
Yeah.
So, so if
So we
we
covered the news, if you remember, Amok, we covered the news of localization of the data center
Yes.
in one of our
correct,
episodes.
correct.
So this actually
So link,
redirects to,
yeah, link to that episode is here.
yes,
So just take a look at it. But yes, we have already discussed about Microsoft and Geo investing
Right.
into data centers. And also recently, Chief Minister of Maharashtra had went to Davos, and he had also cracked some deals with Amazon in order to set up data centers in Maharashtra specifically.
Mm.
So again, but coming back to AI and stuff, AI infrastructure, yes, this news is coming, like hosting DeepSeek on our own servers is coming after a lot of investment in AI infrastructure in India. So I can see that happening. I mean, it's not really a big picture stuff. I see that happening in recent future or near future, you can say. But going back to the article, I'll just quote here. Union IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw on Thursday announced that DeepSeek, the popular Chinese open source AI model, will soon be hosted on Indian servers. The decision, he said, aims to address data privacy, Sumedh, like you said,
Yeah.
and enhance India's AI capabilities. So this was during a press conference, you can say, wherein a lot of India AI mission and everything was discussed. So again, security, like we discussed in the previous episode itself, that DeepSeek has created a havoc and chaos in US market. US market almost saw cash burning worth of $500 billion.
Yeah.
And like Mohit said in the last episode, Nvidia stocks went red
Yeah.
completely. They were
It
bleeding.
plummeted.
Yeah, but again, because it disrupted the market, it has also raised security concerns, which is completely true.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, this really is a good move because we are hopping on the trending train of AI infrastructure, is what I feel. I mean, yeah, although US is leading this trendy train, but I think I have not read any news about, some different countries installing or investing into AI infrastructure apart from China. But yeah, I mean,
but there
I
were
think we are
also a
leading.
news banning the DeepSeek in few
Yes,
countries,
so
I think so.
actually, correct. So, like I said, privacy concerns are true, or are rather real. So Italy has become the first nation just in a week. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Just in a week, Italy has decided to ban DeepSeek, and again, because of the privacy concerns itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
right.
So this article is dated on 31st January. So Italy
Hmm.
becomes first country to ban DeepSeek, citing privacy concerns over personal data usage. So Italy's Data Protection Authority announced on Thursday that it had blocked access to Chinese AI model DeepSeek due to concerns over its handling of personal data.
Yeah.
Or rather, we really don't know what sort of personal data it is, whether it's day-to-day parameters or metrics, or whether it's all the search data or search history, you can say. But this decision came after the authority requested detailed information on AI's data usage, specifically seeking clarity on what personal data is collected. So I think they might know what sort of personal data is DeepSeek using, or DeepSeek might have refused to provide that data.
Right.
These two might
Exactly.
be the the main concerns, you can say. So it was no longer available for download on App Store and Google Play Store, you can say.
But there is
So
another angle for this also. What I think is basically data privacy is not that particular thing that everyone should, of course, everyone should consider it, but that is not followed by many services. So including the
Yes.
US ChatGPTs also. So
Yeah.
they are
obviously,
also, so it is not like that they are completely other to the privacy of the users, but they are now claiming that DeepSeek is not that much with the privacy and might get in trouble after users started using it. So what
but
I think is there is a war going on uh,
totally.
in between the US and China, and this is after effects of that particular thing. So
But if you like the article says, like I said, either they were not happy with what data was being provided, or
Right.
they simply refused to give any data. But if you see here, the concerned person emphasized that the information provided by Chinese firm behind DeepSeek was totally insufficient, prompting the immediate decision to block the service. Furthermore, they have also launched an investigation into AI's data practices to ensure compliance with privacy regulations.
Mm,
So technically, Chinese firms have not provided
mm.
all sorts of data or all data which they are using.
all the information about
Yeah.
data they are using.
But
Exactly, all the
but if you
information.
see the previous trend, in the few months, especially since the recent headlights were, rather the headline was that US finally uh, blocked TikTok, the
Yeah.
Chinese streaming application.
Exactly.
So if you see the trend that most of the Chinese applications have been banned by most of the countries for having a very data privacy related issues, and seeing the trend, and especially once the bigger tech players such as America, once they finally, start banning the Chinese applications, you do definitely see one of the major countries always banning one of the new Chinese things. And DeepSeek is like no different to this. Although very powerful and revolutionary in terms of the AI models that we have right now on hand, you can still see that it's being banned. Obviously, there are some privacy concerns. There always will be privacy concerns, and one or the other countries with their specific data privacy laws
Exactly.
will always come, claiming that no, this is insufficient. Just like Italy, Italy's investigation that they were doing. So never know what the next banning would be.
No, but actually, what I feel is banning Chinese apps and everything has been going on since 2020. I mean, we here in India, we
Yeah,
have a lot of Chinese apps banned from 2020. We, I think so. We don't have TikTok. I'm not a TikTok user.
Yeah.
We,
I think
The
so. It was
but
reason why
banned.
we ban those applications and the reason why they're now claiming to ban the DeepSeek is is I think so. It is same. It is not different.
maybe,
So that is
maybe
the strategy to have step forward, going forward with the not going as same as or we can say that they are not allowing China to like overtake them in
correct.
terms of technology, and because of that they might be do that. But of course there will be a privacy concerns as well. But the main reason behind it, I don't think so. It mainly focusing on the privacy. It is something different.
Maybe, but I think we have our move is completely logical, is what I feel. Because
Exactly. Yes.
simply see, AI is going to rule the world. That's the fact. And banning some new applications or new search engines is completely moving backwards from adopting the technology. So
Yes.
we, on the other hand, or rather India, on the other hand, the decision is perfect, is what I feel. We will be using DeepSeek, but it will be on our own terms and in our
Yeah.
own line. So technically, we'll be availing the services, but at the same time, it will be on our own terms. And
Yeah.
if not, then I think we are already developing Bharat GPT made by Geo.
Yeah.
So we really don't care. I mean, we should adopt new things, but at our own terms. Like you said,
Yeah.
every or other Sumedh, you said, every other country would be having certain privacy laws,
Correct.
Yeah.
just like what happened with WhatsApp in back in 2021.
Correct.
That European regulations were very tight, so they
Yeah.
had to design it completely different.
Mhm.
So it is going to happen. I mean, a lot of countries would be having their own set of privacy laws. But I think that's the way out of this is what I feel. I
Yeah.
mean, hosting on our own servers and going. But again, if at all this doesn't happen, Ashwini Vaishnav has also said that we will be developing our own search engine, ChatGPT,
Exactly.
just like ChatGPT. But I think that's not Bharat GPT, is what I feel. But this is generative AI model. So again, this might be just to bypass what's happening
Mhm.
with the DeepSeek AI. Also, this also news came after his press conference, like we discussed earlier. So the headline reads, India to develop its own generative AI model. IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav confirms the Indian government has been actively investing in AI research and infrastructure. We have already discussed in episode 2. It is unclear whether Ashwini Vaishnav is talking about Bharat GPT or something else. So
Mhm.
it's there's no mention of Bharat GPT as of now in this article.
Yeah. But I
But
think that article, specifically when you see the 18,000 GPUs in place, I think it's more towards having the infrastructure ready
maybe,
to
Correct.
start developing
maybe
upon something.
Yes.
that might be true because
Yeah.
over here it says Indian government has been pushing for AI adoption across healthcare, governance, education, and financial services.
Yeah.
And in order to native generative AI model, in order to development of native AI generative model, it will ensure local language support, which is a great thing, data security for that matter. With the rise of ChatGPT and DeepSeek, we are establishing our own large language model. So, large language model is basically our own search engine like ChatGPT and DeepSeek. So, what
Mhm.
he's trying to say is that our very own search engine, AI search engine, we can term it here, will be competing with these established platforms
Mhm.
and focusing on localized AI application. This is very much important over here,
Yes.
is what he has to say. But yeah, I mean, we have seriously hopped on the AI infrastructure train, and although we might be a bit late because we have seen or rather we have discussed in previous episode that DeepSeek was here since 2013. So we might be a bit late to develop our own AI search engine, but we are definitely on the train when it comes to infrastructure development. So yeah, I mean we can completely see what what AI has to do for Indian sectors. It might be healthcare, finance, education, a lot more.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
this
s-
is definitely going to benefit.
yeah. Speaking of AI, I have like some information that, um, I just want to say, like, for the consumer market, when we consider AI, generative AI, or anything, every day the models are becoming more better and are being implemented into like everyday devices, maybe consumer devices, maybe other devices. Everything is AI enabled nowadays. I was just reading upon this article. I'll just give the gist of it since it goes mostly into the technical know-hows of the new Samsung S25 Ultra. So one of the reviewers was using it to, since that phone is very AI enabled and very
Yeah,
AI centric, uh, she wrote that she was trying to find the when her husband's flight was reaching, to her hometown, and she just asked that Gemini AI that when this since there are not a lot of she didn't remember the flight number. She asked that what all flights are reaching, say Detroit, for example, today, and it couldn't answer it. So she tactfully told it to Google it, and
Okay.
the AI was not able to do it. So asking the AI to do something, to do its job, and it's not doing it, especially coming from something like Gemini, that is Google's own AI,
Yeah.
not being able to Google the details and give you the answer is it's not a big win for the AI, so to say, in the consumer market if it's not able to do the basic tasks that we ask it to do.
Might be.
Yeah,
But this is for voice control, I think. But
yeah, obviously
we
it
can, we
there
can
must
because
be.
all the thing about AI is that, or when it comes to search engines, it's all about what you are asking and in what's the prompt, as they call it. So the
Exactly.
prompt is what you ask ChatGPT.
Uh,
For example, write a 1,000 words essay on my country.
mhm.
If you are writing this query in ChatGPT, this particular query is referred to as prompt in
Correct,
technical
correct.
languages. So when it comes to ChatGPT or any sort of search engines, it's all about the prompt. So we are still maybe 3 steps away from interactive AI because we already have chatbots based
Mhm.
out of AI. But I have not seen anything which is interactive when it comes to voice commands, specifically in AI. I mean, yes, Siri, we have Alexa, we have Google's very own home assistant.
Google
What's
Home,
that?
Oh,
Assistant,
Google
yeah,
Home,
yeah,
Home
Google
Assistant.
Assistant.
but I mean, yes, Google Assistant is more interactive,
Yeah,
but again, it's not AI based.
exactly.
It's
But
typically,
Gemini is.
yeah,
And
but Gemini.
actually, the reason I brought this up was obviously prompting is a big deal for generative AI, and it's the most important factor, obviously. If you clearly tell it what you want, it will specifically give you a few things. But um, when I Google a lot of things, if you just put it, not even a prompt, just a simple Google search. Nowadays, Gemini usually posts the first results in a generative
Yes,
form, right?
yes,
So if I search for something like, hey, um, what kind of things I can buy in, say, my hometown or in my locality, it will actually curate a few things for me. Now, if a simple question like, hey, what are the flights that will be, reaching, for example, my hometown, Pune? What flights are reaching Pune in a certain time period? And ChatGPT, like that model usually does not give you data like before the current data, right? It has trained itself to have the data like till 2021, 2022, something like that. Now, I can understand the limitations for that, but if Gemini that specifically does, give you the latest data, curates it for you, if it can't give me simple things like that, then I think that's not such a big improvement on a AI consumer product, or
yeah,
you
that's
shouldn't
true.
market it as much, to say it's very AI enabled if it's not doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying. It will improve, but
yeah, no,
for
it will
a very
improve, but
costly
Yeah, the
phone like
scenario right
that,
now is the what you have just explained.
yeah.
moving ahead to some different space for that matter,
Mhm.
typically, not pun intended. But earlier in this week, we saw an article wherein we had, or rather someone in Europe successfully did a video call via connecting to the satellite. So, and I technically T-Mobile also has started doing something in the same space. Again, no pun intended. But yeah, so let me just read what the article is. So this article is dated 30th January. So AST Space Mobile satellites successfully power video call with Vodafone. So that's a big W or big win for Vodafone. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it also has some India angle to it. So we'll discuss that shortly. So the Bluebird satellites relayed a video call from a Vodafone engineer positioned in a remote mountain region of UK using an unmodified consumer smartphone. So unmodified consumer smartphone is basically there were no modifications in software or hardware. It was just a common phone which you and I or you and we are using. So Bluebird is technically a company which owns satellites or which have deployed satellites in the space. So months after the article reads, months after launching into orbit, AST Space Mobile's first Bluebird satellites have successfully powered a video call between two unmodified smartphones on the ground. So this is US based. So US based AST tested the technology in the UK with Vodafone, one of its European partners, and they are terming it as historic first mobile phone video call ever, and published a video showing the engineer making video call from mountainous region or to remote region of Wales that lacks traditional cell coverage. So again, link to this article in the description below, so you can take a look at this video if you are interested into. But as far as this particular technology is concerned, I mean, in the last video, we saw sharing 4G network coverage amongst the carriers. So Geo is sharing 4G with BSNL, Airtel.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, if you noticed, Vodafone Idea was missing out of that list.
Yeah.
So they might be working on this, maybe, because in that particular article or in that particular episode, previous episode, to be specific, we saw Jio, BSNL, and Airtel sharing 4G network amongst the towers, but we did not see Vodafone Idea over there. So this might be the reason, which is why the name was not there, the operator's
Mm.
name was not there. And to give it an Indian angle, I mean, yeah, this technology might be helpful here in India because we have a lot of dead spots or dead zones when it comes to networks. We That has been reduced actually technically, but we still have some regions in India wherein we don't receive any coverage.
Yeah.
So, but again, satellite communication, I mean, yeah, privacy is a later on topic or later on factor, you can say. But as far as technology, pure technology is concerned, yeah, this is something interesting from Indian angle as well.
It
And
really
now
is.
I read an article from India TV, Rajat Sharma's India TV, saying that this particular video call is going to disrupt Ambani and Mittal. So I don't know how how much truth of it is, but it's just an headline. So, people can do whatever in headlines, but we still have to see whether this will be implemented, or rather, we have to see whether Vodafone is interested in bringing this technology here in India.
Yeah.
They might be. Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, Amogh. I think if you consider like this proof of concept, what these
Correct.
Blue Sky did, uh, they directly showcased a video call. Now, even if the video call is grainy and the quality might not be like up to the mark to say the to your regular VoIP calls or something like that. Even if you consider that, if you bring this connectivity for voice or even some basic data transfer speeds, this would be revolutionary because
Yeah,
without telecom towers boosting your signal, if you're directly able to have coverage via satellites and
Correct.
considering dead spots in India, uh, or even if we consider right now, not only just the remote places, even some places in India, you just do not get the network.
correct.
Why even India? Around the world, there are obvious dead spots where
Yeah,
you will never get network.
definitely.
And this might be very helpful to, give the network to the people,
Yeah,
have people connected. And it can be a very big step to having direct satellite communications.
So just to I just thought of an example. I mean, yes, there are certain spots or certain villages or cities, not cities, but certain spots, locations in India wherein we still don't have coverage. I mean, just imagine we have this part sort of communication for voice calling, and someone there in Arunachal Pradesh is undergoing some medical emergency and they have to call someone. So they might use this, or similar cases in maybe Ladakh
Yes.
or J&K for that matter.
Correct. Yeah.
So earlier this year, we saw California fires, wildfires, and T-Mobile actually had launched a beta program, which is a test program, you can say, to certain users with which was on the similar application like voice calling or video calling with the help of satellites and not the cellular towers. So T-Mobile is now launching that to specific Android phones. So the article reads T-Mobile's Starlink beta is basically trial, you can say trial program, is now opening up for Pixel 9 users. So T-Mobile has been testing this Starlink satellite service for a while now, and this trial program is now rolling out or now available to a lot of Google Pixel 9s and 9 Pros. So actually, you can see it here that
Mhm.
most recently making it available. So T-Mobile had made it available during the California wildfires, and I think they had been successful, or it was a successful trial, and now which is why they are rolling it out or making it accessible to a lot of users. So again, I mean, in US, T-Mobile is leading. In Europe now, Vodafone has taken up the charge. So let's see what we have to do in future. I mean, yeah, there will be certain restrictions again because on the telecom operators, that is for sure, because there is no such record when it comes to network cellular thing, because in case of certain crimes or court trials, we can ask telecom providers to get some location of that particular mobile number, or transcripts of the calls which had happened.
Yeah.
So in from that point of view, this particular thing might need certain regulations and rules or laws for that matter, communication via satellite. So
Most definitely.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially since we had the no satellite, everything ban here, especially. This still would be like, sure. Will it come here in India is a big question,
Again,
obviously.
yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a trending question always. But speaking of satellites, and especially since you mentioned Starlink,
Yeah.
have you seen that Starlink satellites have been deorbited? Uh,
Yes.
I'm sorry if I'm using the incorrect term, but they have been taken off of the orbit and they're being decommissioned. So
Decommissioned. Yeah.
they're coming into the atmosphere manually. They specifically are burning the satellites and removing the older Starlink satellites.
Yeah.
Uh, how could you share that
Sure.
article?
Sure. Just before we go on to the Starlink thing, for our listeners who are in US, T-Mobile's this particular service is available only for postpaid users. The satellite communication. So if you have Pixel 9 or 9 Pro and a T-Mobile user and a postpaid T-Mobile user, to be more specific, you can enroll into this program. So yeah, okay. Uh, Coming back to the Starlink, but yes, they are
So
now. But it,
is this because of they want to reduce the kind of garbage into the orbits, or
no,
it
I
is
don't think so.
No, actually, so the thing is, from what I read, Uh, what they're trying to do is there were a few potential issues in the hardware itself, in the original Starlink, because all these Starlink satellites currently in the orbit are the first generation ones.
okay?
And there were a few hardware issues and stuff. But apart from that, now the next generation satellites have been made, they have to be deployed. So these are going to be replaced. And
Okay.
obviously, since you just can't let them float around creating a lot of space garbage, they have
Yeah.
to be decommissioned. So the and Amog, if you share the link, I
Yeah.
remember that a lot of um, Starlinks are being retired. I think they are like retiring 5 satellites a day, nearly.
Yes.
That's a
Oh, okay.
lot. Like
Yeah.
you can see a lot of them coming down.
So I'll just read it
Yeah,
here,
please.
Sumedh, for you. So the headline says mass retirement question mark. SpaceX spotted deorbiting dozens of Starlink satellites. So like you say, or like you said, SpaceX is retiring about 4 to 5 Starlink satellites every day at the moment. And this sometime, and like some users have also reported that you might see one at the night time in the sky. So 87 Starlink satellites have been re-entered into the Earth's atmosphere in January so far. So the main reason behind this is retiring the old generation one Starlink satellites, like Sumit said, and a fresh new batch would be rolled out soon. So you can say, but the company might be retiring large batches of older Starlink satellites, which are designed to orbit Earth for around 5 years. So I think these might
Yeah,
be launched in back before 2019 is what I feel.
exactly. Yeah, older
Yeah.
hardware. But since you mentioned that people in America can usually, see them being retired to re-entry, I can see a lot of networking techies, seeing those re-entry satellites, like shooting stars and praying for better
Yeah,
connectivity.
that is true. I mean, but yeah, because this Starlink is sort of running on a capacity wherein they can produce 200 satellites per month.
They
They
can launch, I think so. 200
Yeah,
satellites per month.
yeah.
Yeah,
the deployment rate is quite high as well.
yeah, yeah. They can deploy.
So I mean this will be a very fluent process. I mean, retiring the old satellites at the same time adding on the newer generation satellites. So I think it that process will be very fluent, is what
Uh,
I feel.
Even with their reusable rockets and everything, I
Yeah.
mean, why not? Things are
Why not?
gonna get
True.
interesting.
Okay, moving ahead to our last segment here. Twitter, let me rephrase. X,
X, yeah.
formerly known as Twitter,
Yeah.
they are planning to launch a digital wallet just like Paytm in India, or rather Paytm is in India, in the US or for US users as of now. So, and they are also partnering with Visa. So Visa is Visa,
Hmm.
MasterCard, American Express, that Visa. So the article reads X partners with Visa to provide digital wallet and peer-to-peer payment services. So peer-to-peer is basically person to person, simple way. So the article also says that this association with Visa will help X to launch its digital payment service, known as X Money. And under this plan, Elon Musk owned company aims to provide a digital wallet, peer-to-peer payments within the X app. So this will not be a different app. This will be so there, just like we have an option in WhatsApp for
Hmm.
UPI payments, we would be seeing same option in
In X,
Twitter.
in X, yeah.
Exactly. So you can tweet on X whilst you can pay money or pay someone or transfer
Is
money
it
to
name
someone.
as X Money? Is it
Yes,
X
X
Money?
money will be part of the X app.
Okay,
See,
Mhm.
okay.
it
So
will
this
pro
is
within the
like
X app.
integrating payment options
Right,
in WhatsApp.
Exactly, yeah.
right. Just like WhatsApp,
Yeah.
we can scan to pay and everything. But this will be mostly like Twitter. Sorry, this will be mostly like Paytm
Paytm.
because they are also linking it with Visa debit cards. So just like in Paytm, we have an option to store money in the Paytm wallet,
Wallet, yeah.
or we have bank to bank transfers, or we have transfers with the help of credit cards or debit cards. It is exactly like that. So Visa has, like the article also says, Visa has officially become the first partner for this upcoming service. And once launched, it will offer an instant bank account transfer option that can also be linked with the debit cards.
Mm.
So this is particularly going to rival some big names like Venmo, Block's Cash App, and Zelle,
Yeah,
which are prominent leaders in the US market.
exactly.
So we already have Paytm, PhonePe, Google Pay, or GPay as we call it.
Yeah,
So I don't think they have some similar services like we have here.
yeah.
But yeah, Mr. Musk plans to do it anyways.
Yeah. So speaking of the Paytm example that you just gave, Paytm PhonePe, so Paytm is, I think, expanding into the Saudi Arabia and Singapore markets, I
Middle East.
guess.
Yeah, yes.
So there's one link I think you should share as well.
Yes, it's just from Unify. I think this is just, you can take it as an update over here because we have already
Exactly.
shared UPI technology with France,
Correct.
Vietnam,
Yeah.
and I think UAE is also one of them. But yeah, now
Yeah.
Paytm is also aiming to grow in UAE, Saudi,
Mm.
and Singapore. So I'll just read out the article says that it plans to set up local subsidiaries in 6 months, local companies in 6 months, invest $2.3 million per country, offer merchant to merchant payments and offer merchant payments and tech solutions organically or via partnerships is what Paytm plans to do. So
Mm.
why they asked why this overseas push is someone asked because India's payment scene is getting crowded. Wow, that's a bold statement. What do you expect from a country with a population of 140 CR?
Yeah.
It's getting crowded, you say? Because in December itself, UPI had recorded 1.4 billion transactions in a single month.
My God.
I mean, yeah. So they have to expand. I mean, in that case.
Obviously, yeah.
Why is Paytm aiming to go beyond borders is because Middle East, in Middle East specifically, all the national banks are pushing for digital payments. So I think Paytm has or Paytm might do well in that market, is what I feel. I mean, they are doing their market research pretty well
Yeah.
because a lot of people are pushing for digital payments.
Exactly. And
So
especially for places like the UAE where there's like no
correct,
income tax on people.
right.
The having a better, you know, method of payment
Yeah.
systems, especially in the digital UPI based transaction world, I think it's going to be like a big market for them.
True. And on the other hand, Singapore is mostly cashless.
Yeah.
So, but over there, when you say cashless, it's not digital payment, but
Mm.
it's more than three-quarters of consumers use credit cards. And something pay now is something new over there as well. So the government's digital payment system, according to a 2024
Uh,
survey by accounting firm Zero. So technically, all the governments are pushing for digital payments specifically and not cashless. So cashless is something different than digital payment. So when you are using anything and not cash, it's cashless. So you can use credit card, debit card, wallets, all sort of things. But when we say digital payment, it is completely bank to bank transfer. So it's like using Phone Pay, Bharat Pay, Google Pay, or something of that kind. But yeah, and they still think it's not too late,
mm.
which is true because in Southeast Asian countries, a lot of people are now moving towards digital pay
Digital
or
payment.
digital payment or QR code based payments.
Yeah.
But that's not the case in Europe
Mm.
or that's not the case in US. So yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean it's never too late for expansion. But I think it's a big win for Paytm because they are doing their market research very pretty aptly because pushing digital payments is the new thing in when it comes to all other countries. I mean, we are way ahead when it comes to digital payments
Yeah.
and UPI. Just to give an example,
Mm.
I was in some other country wherein I did not have any cash. So I met some Indian and I paid on behalf of them. And they were like, you know what, just give me a Google Pay QR code. I'll just send it to you.
Yeah,
So we were out of India in some different country and they converted the local currency into INR and they paid me on Google Pay in some third country. So,
exactly.
I mean, digital payments are way ahead. We are way ahead when it comes to digital payment in India.
Yeah, the simplicity is just unmatched.
Right, exactly. And the convenience, sheer
Convenience,
convenience.
Exactly.
mostly the convenience. Each and
Exactly.
every merchant is having now the QR code, so that's the
Correct.
big win for us also. So
Yeah.
All you
because
have to
of that,
carry is
we
your
are
phone.
actually having the convenience.
Exactly. You just walk out of your home with your cell phone and that's about it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not always true when you go in Mumbai. L taxis. So people just refuse to, or if you are in Dadar,
No, in Mumbai, you have to have your own vehicle. You don't depend on the taxi.
no, I'm talking about the QR code or GPay, digital
Correct.
payments.
Correct.
Yeah, some very old hotels like Prakash,
Yes.
they simply don't accept digital payments. But yeah, nonetheless, I mean it is part of the
They're
convenience.
keeping the old charm.
Gives them
Okay.
the new tax.
Let's not go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean convenience, we are way ahead when it comes to digital payments and QR code payments for that matter. And a lot of governments are adopting based on that. So yeah, Paytm is looking good as of now. They can seriously expand in Middle East and Singapore. That's a good one. Okay, so that's a wrap for today's video and hope you all enjoyed it till here. And if you're watching till here, comment Royal Enfield down below and do let us know how you felt. And like we always say, please like our video if you liked it. Subscribe to our channel for latest updates. And thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Bye. लेनोवोचा एक घेऊ
ठीक आहे.
त्याच्यानंतर रोबोट आर्मवाला मोजेवाला घेऊ
मोजे उचल्या. हा, ओके.
हा आलो
झालं का? बंद करायचं शटर?
नाही
खरंच.
एक करूया किती
हा हे तू ब्लूपर मध्ये टाक नाही ना कॅन्सल झालो आपण बघ तू
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Tech Gappa, which is the first ever tech podcast show in India. We are the hosts. I'm Amogh.
I'm
I'm Mohit.
Sumedh.
Wow, wow, wow. So before we start with today's episode,
परत घे.
ka? Ka? So we have an update from telecom sector.
अमुक तू जरा
And
मागे हो आणि परत बोल.
ऐक परत कर मी त्याच वेळेला आळस देत होतो थांब जरा
क्या बात है.
कमिंग बॅक टू.
हा नाही ते ऍपल वाला झालंय तेवढं आय थिंक असं वाटतंय मला.
या खुर्चीचं जर का ते आर्म्स वर घेतले ना तर ते इतके वर जातात की ते त्या आपल्या व्हीलचेअर मध्ये बसल्यासारखं वाटतं सॉरी कंटिन्यू IIT मद्रास परप्लेक्सिटी
हा रे, मी काय म्हणत होतो ते.
कसला सुरू झाला रे तो डायरेक्ट या खुर्चीचे आम समाव